everyone, this is Steve Weintraub with Collider, and we are here in San Diego at Comic-Con, as you can tell behind me with the ocean. I really want to say thank you to, anyway, how are you guys doing? Primitive Warriors here. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah, real good, Steve. Thanks.
So listen, I'm really looking forward to talking to you guys about the movie, but I like throwing a few curveballs at the beginning because I do. But I'm obsessed with getting more people to see movies in movie theaters. And so I've been asking everybody, what's your favorite movie theater?
That's a music box in Chicago. Yeah.
I'll go Manly Twin Cinemas in my hometown.
The New Beverly over by me. Yeah, Tarantino owns it now, but yeah, it's second run theater now. But yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, but you can also see some great retro movies for people who have not been to LA. The New Bev and the Vista, Tarantino owns them, and they're great.
I mean, I'm going to go to the Chinese Man just because it's, iconic.
Sure.
And it's really pretty from the outside.
It's a fantastic theater.
Yes.
Damn, you took my answer. Every time I come to America, I just go there because it's so historic. But in Australia, I go to Event Cinema down there in the Gold Coast.
The other thing is we're obviously at Comic-Con, and a lot of people here collect things. So I'm curious for all of you, do any of you collect anything? And part two, have you been on the Comic-Con floor, or if you were to go on the Comic-Con floor, is there anything you'd be looking for?
Yes, I went. Sorry, I'm going first, suckers. So I love this company, Ryan Kwanten. They make these like sort of Japanese one-shirt posters, movie poster shirts, and yeah, this is one for Mandy. But I've got a number of them, and I wanted to get their San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, the Substance shirt, and I missed it. But I did walk the floor looking for them, and I like a dude, I was like, I don't need a map. I'll just wander and find it. And then I didn't find it, and I regret it.
But people don't realize the Comic-Con convention floor is truly massive. It can take you easily like 2 to 6 hours to walk around, depending on your speed.
But it's a rite of passage to get lost. Like it's
100%.
Yeah.
Do you collect anything?
very sparingly. Yeah, we've been moving a lot, so unfortunately, when you move, you got to trim some things down, and quite often the collection's the first thing that the wifey wants gone, and yeah, I have to fight for other battles.
I understand.
Yeah,
I really do.
I have a massive Star Wars collection. Everyone looked at me when you asked that question. I have a massive Star Wars collection. So I was on the floor with the Hasbro booth. Finally got to. I've never been before. This is my first time. So I finally got to see their exclusives and everything I usually stream from Australia. So yeah, I've got a swag that I'm taking home with me from Comic-Con, which is awesome.
I have to ask you a follow-up. If, as a former Star Wars figure collector and play sets, et cetera, do you buy stuff to keep in the package, or is everything loose?
It's funny. I always used to have them loose. As I'm getting older, especially with the vintage collection from Hasbro, I just love keeping them in that packaging. So if I can, I buy two. If I don't, I keep them in packaging. But I have a huge loose collection from growing up that way.
The problem is, and I apologize, but the problem with Star Wars is that some of the packaging is really cool, and like I like the way it's like the way it looks, but then you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
I don't want to hold up, but yes. Yeah. Sidebar.
Right, totally. For both of you,
I don't really collect anything. So there's change the topic completely, but I collect rescue cats.
Oh,
I'm a crazy cat lady, so I have a lot of those.
Mint on card?
What?
Mint on card?
I have my own Funko Pops, so I guess that's got a few of them now, so maybe that's a little start of a collection.
I have to, if you don't mind, guys, and Jeremy, we're about to get to you, I promise, but I also, my girlfriend and I play the rescue cat game, and yeah, we have a number of cats, and I feed a number of ferals. What do you consider too many? Because I know what we're doing all right, but I'm curious for you.
Well, at my height, I'm down to 5.
Okay.
A lot of mine are getting older. I had 13 for many years, and that was a lot.
But not too many.
But that's not too many. One more would have been too many.
Right. So, if you don't mind me asking, when with rescues, were they like kittens? Were they all ages? Like, how did you decide what was going to win the lottery and get in your place?
I'm a terrible foster fail. So most of the kittens that I had were foster fails that I, bottle fed or. But I mostly, when I adopt, I mostly adopt senior cats.
Okay. I really, and I say this as someone who really loves animals, I really say thank you for what you do. For real.
I collected comic books, and my entire collection was in the trunk of my car. A buddy of mine in Chicago borrowed my car. The car was stolen. Everything was taken. And by the way, life is clearing out. It's time for me to grow up. You know what I mean?
I can make arguments, but go on.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't grown up, so that's awkward. But, life has a way of just, extracting things.
I totally get it. All right. Now, the reason why you guys are here, I appreciate you indulging me in my, questions. So listen, no one has seen the movie yet. There's a new trailer that just came out a day ago, but like, how have you been describing, and whoever wants to answer this, but how have you been describing the film to friends and family?
Just bonkers. Just a bonkers. It's insane. It's an insane concept. Dinosaurs in Vietnam. So soldiers go looking for some missing Green Berets. A recon team of soldiers. They encounter dinosaurs instead and have to fight for their lives. It's insane.
Full Metal Pterodactyl, which is also my stripper name.
Right. I've heard that actually, and but one of the things that, like, honest to God, like, I love this high concept that I really am looking forward to seeing this. And the thing I've always wondered is how the fuck does Universal have the rights to only make dinosaur movies? Like, more people should be making dinosaur movies. So yes, you know what I mean?
Yes, 100%. It's hard to make. That's probably one reason. And but there is this kind of, hold over the dinosaurs. And it was like that when I pitched this film around Hollywood. No one really everyone said the same thing to me. And I had to go back to Australia. And as an independent film, I got back after meeting Jeremy and some of these guys. And I just said, we're going to do it. We're going to do it ourselves. As we just did it. Yeah.
So if you don't mind, so one of the things, obviously you're making this on a budget. So talk a little bit about the challenges and maybe how the script was adapted once you got your money, you figured out what you had, and trying to put the most you can on screen. You know what I mean? Because there's that balance of where and when to deploy resources.
Yeah, I think all these guys can attest that everything went on screen because it was a very lean unit as we were shooting I wanted to make it real, so we went to the real jungles, up the mountains, in the rivers, and these guys really sort of slugged it out because the crew was lean but really passionate to make it. And when I adapted it, we were just talking about this, Trish, of how much dinosaurs we put on the screen compared to what people might think. It was like, it's going to be on the budget. It's maybe just some shadows in the jungles here and there, but we go, like, as Jeremy said, full metal jacket dinosaurs. There is like a lot of them. And the trailer came out yesterday, and I made the trailer myself, and I hate when trailers reveal too much. And I can tell you, and I think these guys can attest, that there is way more in the movie than what I've shown in the trailer. So I'm looking forward to people to seeing it.
The clips that I saw in ADR and things like that, where, when we're shooting, spoiler alert, there aren't actually dinosaurs there. All that rustling in the trees, but all the tricks that you do to make it look like something's about to come out of the trees. And I assumed that's what it's, there's going to be the odd dinosaur here or there. And then doing the ADR, and I'm like, wait, there's dinosaurs everywhere. How did you guys do this?
One of the things I commend you for not revealing too much. I have this conversation with marketing people all the time. Like, so many trailers, and we've all said this, but like, in 2 minutes, you tell the entire movie. Why am I going to go see it? You know what I mean? Like, leave mystery, sell me on why you know what I mean? So anyway, for the actors, so you see the shooting schedule in front of you. What day do you have circled in terms of, I cannot wait to film this? And what day is like, how the F are we going to film this?
I was looking forward to us filming the siege of the POW camp, because we only had 2 days of training in the beginning with Freddie Joe Farnsworth, who's like a legendary technical advisor for military stuff, and he's keeping us honest the whole time. But we didn't get much time with him, but then we had the rest of the shoot with him like, you know, barking stuff at us and getting on our case if we didn't hold the weapon right or whatever. And we'd sort of like learned it by the end, and it felt pretty good by the end. So I was really looking forward to that.
Calling it a weapon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is great because that scene has no dinosaurs. That's at the beginning of the film. We shot it at the end, and I did that for a reason, so we could keep training you guys up, because it's like the beginning 5 minutes, you guys capturing a POW camp, and it really sets the tone for the rest of the movie that these guys are like great soldiers. So imagine what's going to happen when they're fighting dinosaurs. This isn't some sort of, hey, we're going through the jungle and we're soldiers type movie. These guys are like trained against dinosaurs, and it makes that the threat level that next step.
I would love to hear answers from the three of you.
It was very surreal because I met Luke and it was pouring rain in LA, and it never rains. So it was like dramatic. It was like raining. And the next thing I know, I'm out there in Australia with fake rain, but just pouring on us as we're, you know, fighting dinosaurs and jumping into helicopters. So it just really all worked out. I mean, I'll let Luke speak on this, but I think I might have been one of the catalysts to get this done as fast as it was, because he wanted to make this, and I said, I'm actually going to be in Australia doing a stand-up comedy tour, and he just goes, let's go. And it just kind of lit the fire a bit, which I just love that. I had any part in that.
In terms of getting the days, you know, Alex is here and he'll attest to it. Like it was a tough, ambitious shooting schedule, and it's an ambitious movie, full stop. So you try and squeeze an ambitious movie into an ambitious schedule, and you got to have people that are literally obsessed with what you're doing. And you know, we'd all follow this man into battle, and that's what we did. We believed in the vision, and you know, we hoped, and we kind of told him every day, these dinosaurs better look fucking good, because we're laying it on the line. You know, we're giving it everything we can. And he goes, yeah, I know. You told me that yesterday.
Yeah, there was a couple of days where we were up in the jungle, and we're like, how are we going to get this done? Because it had rained a lot, and we couldn't. The entire cast crew, everybody had to be brought up in these like mud cats, like a snow cat type thing, because you couldn't get a car. They wouldn't even let us walk up there because it was so dangerous. You could slide off. And so we're just sitting there looking at the hours go by as they're trying to figure out how to get us all up there. And
half the crew had lost their boots getting up there.
Yeah.
Literally, your boot would get stuck in the mud and you'd have to walk up in a sock.
So yeah, it was pretty it was pretty intense, and I could just see everybody's faces start to get more and more stressed of how are we going to get this day and this week, because we were only there for a week, I think, right? And it kept raining every night, and every morning we'd get up there, it was just mud. And so that was I think the time period where I was like, are we actually going to get this done?
It adds, you know, that's the beauty of an independent movie too, is that you have no choice but to work with your environment. We don't have the money nor the time to add another day, to add another, you know, $10,000. We just don't have that. So you have to solve things creatively at the time. And it forces you into some really unique positions. And quite often it's the moves you make when, you know, it starts raining for real that truly kind of set a movie apart. And we were fortunate enough or blessed enough to have a lot of those moments.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to be on a lot of sets. And the thing that I took away was it's so unglamorous compared to what I thought it would be like growing up. Like you know what I mean? Like I guess
it's slow if you're not. Yeah.
Oh my God! Like when I've been on a sound stage, like at Warner Brothers or Paramount, like it's a completely different energy. But when you're out in location, like people just don't realize what it's really like filming, and it's so unglamorous. And I'm sure that people visit you on set, and you're like, and after 2 hours, you're like, I'm going home.
And this is on an indie movie, so you know, on some of the studios, you're staring down the barrel of 6 to 9 months, and so they're shooting maybe 20 seconds a day if you're lucky. Type thing.
Yeah, on this we were like you guys worked Alex, you guys did this so fast, like it was so.
8 pages a day.
Yeah, and they wouldn't do like big turnarounds for like, you know, like big different lighting setups. They were using a lot of natural lighting, and they would have like a simple lighting setup, and they would just like they'd just be like, let's just capture this quick, and everything was handheld, and it was like they didn't. It was kind of amazing because on American film sets, I'm like, there's so much more downtime, and actually, I preferred working this way. Like, because you just don't, lose it as much.
And plenty of days we had 3 cameras set up, so it wasn't like we were sacrificing anything, as Luke will attest to. Like, all the money went on screen.
No, completely.
And we were kind of talking about it, but I think dinosaurs were put on this earth to be seen in the cinema. So if you want to see more dinosaurs, check out Primitive War, August 21st. Definitely pre-buy because it's going to get wild.
Yeah. You got to pre-buy it because it's going to... Listen, and I'm not just saying this, the trailer is really blown up because I think there's a hunger for it. We're totally sold out for our panel. This is the first indie Australian movie to make it here to Comic-Con, which is amazing. And he was so ambitious with this film. You don't see films of this scale that are indie. You just don't see it.
That's what I'm saying. But also, like, it is amazing to me how many even big studio movies won't touch dinosaurs. And I'm like, people love fucking dinosaurs. Like, why does, you know what I mean? But that you just touched on something I wanted to bring up, which is being at Comic-Con for this. And it's like, I think it's the perfect place to be promoting the movie because this is you know what I mean? Like, what's it like for all of you being here and, you know what I mean, getting that reception? What does it mean?
Well, props to Comic-Con for taking a chance on a movie like us. And then double props to the fans for saying, you know what, we believe in Comic-Con and the choices you're making. And they've turned out both online and, physically yesterday. Like Jeremy said, it was standing room only there. So it's really good to see.
Yeah, people are incredibly passionate and they show up here. And it's real, they've made an effort to be here. They've flown in, they paid money, they got skin in the game here. And, and you've been doing this for 20 years, you're authentic. People, they believe in what you're saying. And this is more kind of putting the power in the people, which I love.
100%. I definitely have to ask you an editing question if you don't mind, because
Sure.
I'm obsessed with the editing process. So you have all the footage, you're putting your assembly cut together. What was it like for you in like those first few weeks and how you know what I mean? Because you don't really know what you have until you watch that first cut.
Yeah, 100%. I was literally just saying to Trish that, I worked because I was the editor and the director and all these different roles in this freaking movie. I would be working like all late nights to like, 3, 4 a.m. and then turning around just doing it again just because I was just so passionate about making this right. But also, like I said, I had this like weight on my shoulders that had these amazing cast and I was the one doing this all. So I wanted to make it, great. But I think it only took a little while to know what we had. Even we had an editing truck on set, and you guys would visit it. Had our colorist on set, just doing the dailies and tweaking some colors so we could feel more, cinematic before just the grade happened. And these guys would sneak a peek, and they'd be like, "Dude, this looks sick. This looks great," which obviously makes you feel, that you're onto something good. You're not walking away going, oh my God, the actors hate it and everyone hates it. And so, it only took me a little while to know that it was going to be good. I think I showed my team sort of halfway through the film, sort of halfway, and everyone was like, yeah, this is feeling good. So I just kept following my gut and, whittled it down to awesome story through the jungle, this adventure movie. So yeah.
Which was the sequence that you spent the most time in the editing room on? Because every director I speak to, they're like, there was this one sequence that like, it fucking killed me. Like, what was the one that you were like going back to and back to and back to?
Yeah, there's a bit where they get on a boat and they go through a river. It's in the trailer. That took a long time to get right, to find the balance of action and drama and interesting conversations. Visual effects wise, there was a sequence where they're walking through this mountaintop and there's these long necks, dinosaurs all around them. That scene was like the first scene we put to visual effects, and it's going to be literally the last I drop in like tomorrow. So it's just one of those scenes like you were saying, the director's like, oh my God, this scene 50. Why is scene 50 so hard? So, but it's finally got there. And in terms of the most scene I loved to do, but took me the longest was the ending. It's this it's not in the trailers. I think maybe one shot, and it's my favorite sequence of the whole movie. I actually spent the least amount of time on it, but every time I watch it, I just get so revved up as a fan. I'm just like, yes, because it's
also important to. I have to let you guys go, but it's very important, I think, to leave audiences like cheering or like excited as they're walking out of the theater, because that's the memory I think that stays with them.
100%. I agree with you.
Okay, well, listen, I want to say congrats on pulling this off. I want to thank you for coming into the studio and enjoy Comic-Con. I wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thanks.
Appreciate you so
Thank
much.
you so much.